Hello, this is John Lord on a lovely day in early September. Really beautiful day. I don't know whether to do much work or just to show the garden. Well, we just show one thing anyway for a start. See this is the Sanguisorba, and it's on the front, so front stuff is shorter. But this turned out real tall, but it's quite loose and light, so you can see through it. But it's white, which of course it shouldn't really be called Sanguisorba. It was white because sangue means blood, so it should be red. But I would never have planted a white one. But when we walk down there, the white shows up against all the darkness, so it worked out really well. We planted these Persicarias about 3 weeks ago, when we had to do changes here because of us changing this. And because there's all the rain gets over, because of the big overflow, they turn out to be a perfect choice because they love all the extra water, and they're just doing brilliantly. So right plant for right place. And we had a very nice, really nice Aster there, an Aster called novi-belgii, which means New Belgium asters. But it was very mildewed. It was out of this world mildewed, and we don't really spray. The spraying seems to have finished. Nobody sprays anymore, so I'm not going to spray fungicides. So we just took it all up and we put Aster Monch instead. Blue is going to flower there. And we also made a little change here. We put something blue in there, an Aconitum. And it's a name that really suits Ireland. It's called Aconitum Cloudy. So it's blue with sort of white going through it, like it was been put in a blender. I've never seen it in real life. I've only ever seen it in a picture. Put this here about 2 weeks ago with great difficulty with the forklift and everything. It's a very old piece of limestone. And we just put some soft planting in front of it, sort of low-key planting, a few ferns, soft shield fern and Omphalodes. And they faded very well, this Sanguisorba. I think it's pink brushes. No, it's not pink brushes. I think it's Lilac Squirrel. But hasn't it faded very well? And as that's going over, Goldenrod is coming in. Solidago is coming in. Isn't that lovely? And there's 2 daisies. This will tell you about evolution. Both members of the daisy family, but that's kind of the hippie one, I think, more the hippie daisy. That's Loddon Gold, great daisy. They're hard enough to get because they don't look very well on the garden centre bench, because the bottom leaves always goes a bit sort of untidy looking before it flowers, and on a 2 litre, 3 litre pot. When you put it in the ground, it's a different matter. So we don't sell it anymore, but we've given loads to people, just little bits we dig up and give to people. But anyway, we'll continue on. We had a couple of, this was just done yesterday, we had a couple of roses here, and they just getting destroyed with black spot, really bad black spot. And as I say, I'm not really spraying again, so we just took them up. And what makes this planting, we have 4 Achillea. I think it's called yellow terracotta. They were cut back by the grower and they flowered at a lower level, but that will flower at that height. The pink behind it, pink Lythrum, I think it's salicaria. Drop more purple. And then we put a blue, just an ordinary blue catmint, 6 Hills Giant, just to give it different texture. And blue, it's all pinks, a lot of pinks and yellows. The blue really changes the look, and that's just soft. And that's the important things to play around. And then we put a completely different leaf shape there. It's a Potentilla with a strange coloured flower. We only got them in a few weeks ago as a picture. Never seen them in flower, but very strange. And it will complement the Geranium striatum. Look here, I'm not doing any work, a little tiny bit. You see here, so what you do, get rid. You see the dirt on top of the gravel where the gravel is thick. When it rains, that dirt just goes through the gravel. Now down to the right level. And then we just now if I had to put gravel in on top of this mound, it wouldn't work because it would have just fallen over. So you have to get it down. You have to get the levels down. And then it's just a matter . Here's a gardening nerd tip. There's two types of gravel. There's proper gravel, which is this type of gravel, which have rounded edges caused by hundreds or thousands of years being rubbed against each other in water. That's the gravel that's easy to rake. Now you have chippings as well, also called gravel, also known as gravel, but they're chippings, which is rock that generally humans have broken down into much sharper pieces. Now they're much more difficult to rake, so I will always advise, when you pick the colour of your gravel, always go for the rounded one. That's important. You never hear that. And you worry it. Don't be afraid. And you know the old gentry houses you would see, big house, lovely gravel drive. Once a week, every week of the year, gardener would rake it. And that's why they look so well. That's that. Now have a look over here. We gave the hedge a really good cut back earlier on, and it's coming out, but we're never going to let it get much further out than this. So there's a gap here. Kids are going in playing hide and seek, so kind of have to close the gap. So we'll put this, that's called pink penny, we'll put that at the front for just a bit of flair, and then standard Alchemilla mollis, and then a few evergreens. Libertia, which is an evergreen member of the lily family, and it will grow in the shade. Some ferns, Dryopteris affinis, which will grow twice the size this. So that's just to break it up, just to make it. So we have our showy plant here, and very conservative, diffuse looking in there, but we won't do any work. Let's see. Yeah, we're going over here. We actually are going to do a bit of work in here. there's a load of stuff taken out here, and the main way of looking in is obviously from the gravel. So what do we do here? We have our weeping pear. So we get some of this Aruncus. We just do a little. And we'll get the Aruncus to come right in here. Now, I'll just do a little bit. Be right probably to wait. I'm just doing it now just to show, because if I do it in the winter, when this is down below the ground, it doesn't kind of mean anything. You're just moving around bits of roots. So that's one. There's two. And that'll do. Two will do. So we put one here, one there, and then continue on. Start here. You see this mattock? It's not mattox, it's mattox. This here is for chopping through roots, even thick woody roots. It is twice as efficient as a normal axe. It is just perfect. Whoever designed it, probably around the time of Henry VIII. Now people will say, do you need to feed that? No, you don't need to feed it. 99% of issues with plants is water. Feeding is a supplement, but it's never, very few plants die as a result of low nutrition. They die as a result of either too much or too little water. It's always water. We put one here. Check the soil. Great soil. It is two, so we'll continue along, get all that done there. Let me see. No, we won't have any more. We come in here, David, and look at what we did in here. We put in phormium just last week, and we put it there because the leaves will get into about there, and it's different stem of the only bamboo that I'm still planting is Polystichum vivax, either that one or the green one. The green one's really good. It's hard to get. It runs, but it is very controllable, and it has that amazing height. Look, that must be. It's more than 20 foot, that's 25 feet. But look what you're looking at. That's super. And that's just to give it sort of a leafy effect. And we planted one Geranium, big leaf one, and one fern, Dryopteris atrata. So what we do is we'll edge this and maybe bark it, and that's the finish. Maybe put one plant in there. but we're finished. And you have to be ruthless with the bamboo. Gets on a hand, dig it up, and you get this part, and you break the runner, and then remove it, and sell it in the garden centre. But that's really it. Oh yes, this is our pond over here, and look at this. Someone's given 20 cents to the Buddha. Well, we won't, I think that could be bad luck to remove that, so we leave that there. The pond is probably the most important feature in the gardens, particularly for young families. And we have all these turtles here, which we shouldn't have, but they were all volunteer to us. And what could we do? They were in kitchens and little aquariums, and they seem to be happy. But it's such, people come here and they look at the pond, and it just gives them such happiness. And the kids, if I'm feeding the turtles, I give a handful to the kids, and the kids throw them in and throw the food in and feed the turtles, and it's just great. It's just a great asset to have. And the biggest issue we have in the pond at the moment is water lilies. We've too many, and at some stage I'm going to have to look like a right wally and put the waders on and get in, but I've been saying I'll do that for the last 10 years and I haven't done it yet. That's it.